to Always Auburn with your host, Tyler Crane.
All right, we're back at you with Always Auburn. Now, I was going to put this in my last video, but it ran a little long. And I got to be a man of my word. I got to stay consistent. And I think this is a fun part of the show. And it's that time, middle of the week. And we got to have a ass of the week. Somebody is going to do something dumb that I can talk about. So this week it was kind of difficult. There were kind of some ifs and maybe this will work. Maybe he's the ass of the week. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. And there is one person who you haven't got all the way away, and there's going to be some video footage come out eventually. I have a feeling to really highlight why the results of what happened to you. I'm not speaking too much about it because I'm not sure if he really is at fault like they're saying he is. I got to see the footage. The footage has to come out for us to really know. We can't just take what the institutions have done as far as sanctions. And I think some of y'all probably who follow football may know what I'm talking about. It's got to do with the game that took place in Baton Rouge Saturday night in the pregame with the festivities between the two teams on the field. So you haven't got away. You might be in my segment next week. You know who. But I'm not going to throw you under the bus until I get the full story and see the video footage. So you're safe for now. Moving on, though, ass of the week. And to understand this person and why he has fell into this segment this week, you really have to know football. And you have to follow what I'm telling you and what I'm saying, my explanation on why I think he is the ass of the week. And if you don't understand football, if you don't understand play clock, if you don't understand just everything that comes into winning and losing on the football field, this might go over your head, and I apologize if it does. But biggest game of the week last week, most entertaining game of the week last week, Georgia at Tennessee. I think it was a very fun game to watch. It was one of those games where you're at the edge of your seat the whole game. You never know what's going to happen next. And when it looked like it was all bad for the Georgia Bulldogs, like it was all over with, our boy Josh Heupel made the mistake that probably will haunt him. Now, everybody's not going to even think to acknowledge this mistake, to call it a mistake. You know, you got to really dig into football to understand why I say he choked in this moment. So 7 seconds left on the clock. 3rd and 5. Tennessee had the ball. All they had to do was kick a field goal to win the football game. It was tied up. And it was about a 30, maybe 34, 35-yard field goal. Not 100% sure. It might have been shorter than that. It wasn't a very difficult field goal to make. And Kirby Smart uses his last timeout with 7 seconds to try to preserve as much time on the clock as possible in case he makes a field goal, and then at least we got about 3 seconds for a kickoff. There's one more play. He can't kick the ball through the uprights as time expires, and we don't have a chance to field a kickoff and try to do some Cal versus Stanford magic or throw a Hail Mary after a touchback or, fumble Ruski lateral play. So that's why he called that timeout with 7 seconds left. So Josh Heupel, trying to one-up Kirby Smart and thinks he's got all the sense, really got too cute for his own good. And so instead of running the field goal team out there, he ensuingly put his offense back on the field so they could probably take a knee and run the clock down to about 2 seconds, use his timeout, and then send the field goal team out there, kick the field goal. Time would have expired as the ball went through the uprights. Everybody would have ran on the field at Neyland Stadium. It would have been all she wrote. See you later, Georgia Bulldogs. Well, it didn't happen like that. You ran the offense back out there, and you catch a false start. So now you lose 5 yards. So now this 32-yard field goal, 33, whatever it was, now turns into close to a 40-yard field goal, which still manageable. You should make that. He made one just the same distance the very next drive in overtime. So you should make that. Don't get me wrong. But see, what you do there is you threw your kicker off. You threw your field goal kicker off, Josh Heupel. We expect Kirby Smart to call a timeout to try to save the clock, to try to freeze the kicker, all of that. That's expected. But in essence, he gets that timeout, tells the kicker, hey, look, we're going to go run one more play. Go over there and kick some more. Warm up some more. Runs the guy offense back. So now the kicker, he's got his chin strapped up, all that. He's expecting to run out there and kick the ball after we come out of the timeout. Heupel says, no, go back over there, kick some more in the net. We're going to run the offense out here, take a knee. Runs the offense out there. My boy, his nerves are going through the roof because he holds the key to winning and losing in front of 112,000 fans in Neyland Stadium that want this more than anything. So poor kid. And so they run out there, get the false start. In essence, Josh Heupel, you really froze your kicker. You helped Georgia freeze your kicker. You altered his routine. There was a quick change in the anxiety that he was feeling. It made it more, more real, more apparent. It just, things started being, he had to think about it a little more, Now, if he doesn't call that timeout, or if he doesn't go out there and catch the false start and you run him out there and he kicks a 33-yard field goal, does he make it? I don't know. Nobody knows. It didn't happen. We don't know. I could be completely wrong. But I think the odds of you running him out there with those 7 seconds instead of running the offense back out there and catching that false start, I think he makes that field goal. And I think, yes, time doesn't expire on the field goal. Kirby still got a chance with 2 seconds to pull some miracle Cal versus Stanford marching band on the field play. How likely is that to happen? Not very. It's a lot more likely for what happened to happen for you doing that, Josh Heupel, which is running your offense out there. They're not expecting to go back out there, catching a false start penalty because of nerves, and then having to regather the troops and say, oh, well, just go on out there and kick the field goal. You rushed him. You altered his routine. You changed the distance on the field goal. He's expecting to go out there and kick a 33-yard field goal. Now it's a little longer. It's a little more of an angle. And what did he do? He pushed it. So I bet you Josh Heupel, if you could ask Josh Heupel today what decision he would love to have back in that Georgia game, I guarantee you he would say, I wish I would have ran that field goal team out there on 3rd and 5 instead of sending my offense back out there for no reason but to lose 5 yards and us to go out there and miss a field goal. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Josh Heupel, you are the ass of the week. Sorry that happened to you. I was really pulling for you, but it is what it is. So we'll be back at you next week. My guy from the Florida Gators, you hadn't gotten away yet either. I'm just waiting to see some video footage. So anyways, best of luck to the Florida Gators and Tennessee Volunteers going forward, and best of luck to the Auburn Tigers this week headed into Norman, Oklahoma. War Eagle!